Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. I'm Ron Olesko. I'll be your MC for the evening, and we have a wonderful night in store for you tonight. We have 8 performers. Some will be appearing for the very first time at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and a couple of old favorites being brought back by demand because, well, you folks out there demanded it. Our lineup tonight will include Nick Carter, Grant Peeples, Heather Aubrey Lloyd, Miles and Mafale, Carolann Solebello, Peter Calo, Kate Taylor, and Professor Louie. It's going to be a great evening, so I want you all to sit back and enjoy this. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, just to let you know, the Greenwich Village Folk Festival is a free event. This is our gift to the community. It began back in 1987, and for a number of years, it was a live in-person concert that took place in Greenwich Village. It went on hiatus for a number of years, but it came back in 2020 during the pandemic. Started in July of 2020, and we've been here every month doing some great shows and bringing you kind of a who's who of the world of folk and acoustic music. And we plan on continuing for a while to come. And we're doing it mainly because of support from great people like you. If you're able to, you'll see a tip jar. There'll be information in the chat feature on both YouTube and Facebook, or just go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. And whatever you can donate to help keep this going is greatly appreciated. Now, let's get to the music. Our first artist tonight is a New England-based singer-songwriter. His most recent album is called Fountain Pen, and it features some story songs that, well, take you places like underground to the subways or into attics, remembering old and treasured things. It takes us to distant beaches and late-night diners, and even to the tears of ink from the nib of a fountain pen. Now, he immersed himself in songwriting a bit later in life, but he grew up playing drums and acoustic guitar. In high school and college, he sang in a cappella groups, rock bands, and musical theater. He went on to a career in marketing and communications for financial service firms, and then in 1999, he switched to music education in the state of Connecticut, where he developed upper elementary general music and instrumental programs. And tonight, we are lucky to have him here to school us on the art of songcraft. Please welcome Nick Carter.
Hey, Ron. Thank you. It's great to be here, and thank you for that gracious introduction. It's a real treat to be kicking off Greenwich Village Folk Festival tonight. And I want to thank Rod McDonald for reaching out a couple months ago and for the invitation to join you all. I'm going to share songs from 3 different albums. And this is from an album called Lost Weekend that went out a couple of years ago. And this is called Comfort in Your Cup. Sunrise and she's working at the diner. It's the place in town that never turns out the lights. For the couple in the corner booth, on their first date with the truth, she pours the coffee that gets them through the night. Now in a lunch counter world, there's 6 booze and a jukebox. It plays you a daydream for a dime. Come in for homemade pie or a good old-fashioned cry. For coffee or confession, she's got time. 'Cause she's a hometown girl, and the diner is the place, and she hears every prayer offered up. And if it's company you crave, or the special of the day, either way, she'll pour comfort in your cup. Now she keeps a weathered picture of a blue dress and a corsage, and she's dancing in his arms at senior prom. Back then they talked all night, made a promise at first light, over breakfast in the diner at dawn. Now it's 10 years to the day since graduation, the day he said he'd never let her down. Classmates voted them most likely But life got in the way, and he voted for the road straight out of town. But she's that hometown girl, and the diner is the place, and she hears every hungry prayer offered up. And the one she wants to say, well, she's gonna say out loud someday, but until then, she'll pour comfort in your cup. Just let her pour some comfort in your cup. Now she freshens her makeup in the mirror on the wall and rubber bands her hair back into place. And it's Friday again, that's the day he said he'd call, as lipstick traces hope back on her face. But she's a hometown girl, and that diner is the place, and she'll be waiting whenever you show up. And if you're running late, well, she's saving you a place just so she can pour that comfort in your cup. Well, it's sunrise and she's working at that diner, a place in town that never turns out the lights. Thank you all very much. Put in your cup was that one. This song I'd like to share with you now is actually on the album Fountain Pen. It's the first track on the album. And it's autobiographical. It's called My Guitar is My Compass. And it just talks about a time when music was not a big part of my life, and guitar and singing actually for a little while became kind of a distant thing to me. And this is a story about how it all came back. It was winter '78. I had to quit the band for a job back home with family. I just did not see the trouble coming down as my guitar became a stranger to me. I was fresh out of school, steady paycheck in hand, pockets full of cash. I had an office in the field, helping farmers work the land. Had 3 good years before the crash. Then the markets broke the farms, and the banks came calling for the keys. I closed up shop, and I watched those bridges burn. My hometown wasn't home to me. But the right roads don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. I went to work on Wall Street, found no peace of mind. Started playing downtown bars. Finally broke away and left the suits behind and traded stocks for tips in a jar. Now the right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Here we go now. On a corner now, you'll find me in Soho, playing like I'm paying off a debt. My guitar case catching quarters for a solo, but it's better than a promise never kept. Oh, it's better that a promise never kept. 'Cause the right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. Indeed I will. How the right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. And my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. You know my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Now come my friend, help me find my road. And won't you kindly guide me home? And now be my compass when I go. Thank you very much. Little autobiography there for you. Some of the truth from Ron's generous introduction coming through in that little song. This March, at the end of this month, I'll go back into the studio with my friend Seth Lear as producer, and I'm going to start to work on another album, follow-on album to The Fountain Pen. This will have a number of sort of reflective and introspective songs, kind of in the same spirit of Fountain Pen, but is also going to have a little more social commentary on the moment we're living in and the climate we're living in. And this is called, I'm hearing some voiceover here. I love it. Well, that's a good mood setter, I think, for my conversation here. Basically, the song's called We Saw It Coming, and I think it probably you'll find it speaks for itself. Across the Mississippi Valley, one December night, they dropped from the sky. Eight tornadoes, they took 90 lives. Like rattlers hunting in the night, coils crushing everything in sight. And the worst part of it all, we saw it coming. Atmospheric threats from all directions, you can't outrun them. Science says here is the inflection point, the piper is coming. Miami going under, Amazon burning. We'll have monsoons in Montana before we start learning. And the worst part of it all, we saw it coming. We saw it coming. Yes, we saw it coming from 100 years away. And centuries draining off the glaciers, oceans warmer every day. Can we turn back our one-way consumption and replenish? Can't wait for the children to fix it. That is how we perish. The earthly options are waning, and the hourglass keeps on draining. and the sand will soon be gone. And we knew it all along. We saw it coming. Oh, we saw it coming. Yeah, we saw it coming. Thank you. Appreciate the chance to kick off the night. Looking forward to hearing everybody's great music.
Thank you, Nick Carter. Oh, what a great way to kick off the night. And for those of you watching, be sure to check out Nick's website. It's Nick Carter's, with an S, nickcartersmusic.com. You can find out and buy his albums, and look forward to that new one that's coming out too. You know, I was just mentioning earlier that we started doing these live streams back in July of 2020. And if my math is correct, tonight is the 43rd edition of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival that we've done since we've returned. We had two kind of best of shows last summer, but that means number 50 will be coming up this year. So we're going to have to start planning for that. Again, each month we bring you some wonderful artists, some old friends, some new friends that we make. And I believe our next performer, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first time at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. He describes himself as a tree hugger who watches NASCAR, and he's become known for his socio-political songs that are built around humor as well as compassion. And for 5 decades, he's been observing life and the American condition, and a personal journey that found him running a nightclub in Tallahassee, Florida. And then he spent 10 years on a remote island off the coast of Nicaragua, where you would think that relative isolation would lead to an outpouring of songwriting, but he wasn't writing during that period. It was only after a trip back to the States and some personal experiences that the songs began flowing out of him, and we are the grateful recipients of his renewed passion. His latest album was released last year, and it's called A Murder of Songs, and we're pleased that he could join us tonight. It's an honor to welcome Grant Peeples to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival.
Thank you, Ron, so much. I'm actually going to start out with a poem if I can, and this is a poem. You mentioned my experience in Nicaragua. I moved down there in 1995 and started a small hotel, and we have you can't hear me, correct? Give me a nod. Okay, thank you. I had tourists there from all over the world came in, and this is a poem I wrote for them. It's called My Advice to Pilgrims. My advice to pilgrims is tread lightly, be fluent in the languages of silence, show kindness to the least of those you meet along the road, and give up your seat on the train to the lame and to the blind, but also to the power-hungry Pharisee who believes a little comfort will ease his monkey mind. Or just stay the hell home. Don't go. Not unless you're willing to meet hunger and thirst and loneliness with the same reckless abandon as a she-wolf taking winter on. You see, we can't really make a journey when crippled with a vision. Instead, we must be willing to allow the horizon to swallow us whole. So smash your idols against the rocks and let the graven image burn. Yes, the very one you worshipped with all your heart and with all your soul. Because if you really want to be a pilgrim, you're going to have to let that shit go. And this is a song I wrote on January 7th. I began writing this of 2021. Well, let us all remember the day in 21, the 6th of January, when the deadly deed was done. They were charging up the hallowed steps, busting down the doors, shoving past, breaking glass, and shitting on the floor. It was an insurrection, So patriots must stand, heed the call for justice and let leniency be damned. 'Cause freedom's just another word for all we have to lose. Let the sons of bitches rot in jail for what they tried to do. An angry mob of QAnon, Proud Boys and Boogaloos, fascist thugs and racist, a band of angry fools. They were chanting words of treason, waving flags that bore the name of the lying lame Dick Loser, the one who lit the flame. It was an insurrection, and patriots must stand, heed the call for justice and let leniency be damned. 'Cause freedom's just another word for all we have to lose. Let the sons of bitches rot in jail for what they tried to do. Their cry for unity while questioning the facts, remember it's bad faith and lies that led them to attack. On the darkened day in history, let it not be forgot that a coup's a coup no matter who has planned the evil plot. It was an insurrection and patriots must stand, heed the call for justice and let leniency be damned. 'Cause freedom's just another word for all we have to lose. Let the sons of bitches rot in jail for what they tried to do. Yeah, freedom's just another word for all we have to lose. Let the sons of bitches rot in jail for what they tried to do. Hang the sons of bitches by the neck for what they tried to do.
Bravo, bravo.
I have no I'm 67 years old. I have no children, and my father was an only child. He had 2 children, and my brother and myself. And my brother had 1 child, and that child had 1 child. Her name is Sadie, and she is the last of the Peeples. She's 8 years old now. My brother and I have tracked along different paths. And because of this, I have not been involved in my great niece's life. We live here in the same village of Tallahassee, Florida. And if I were to walk into a room at her birthday, which I don't get invited to, she would have no idea who I was. And excuse me. So I had this idea that because I wasn't involved in her life, that I wanted to, and then I knew that she would never really know who I was, that I was going to write her a letter, and kind of in the letter kind of explain things, and that when she got old enough, I had a friend who was going to give her the letter. I assumed I wouldn't be around. And I started writing the letter. And as I started writing the letter, it just became this song. Apologize for that. It's called Dear Sadie. Dear Sadie, well, I want to tell you about the family, Tallahassee in Mississippi. That's the dirt that you come from. Your ancestors, well, they were hardy, and they were rugged and strong-willed. They stole a continent from another people, and some are plundering it still. Dear Sadie, I hate to be the one to tell you that there are traitors in your bloodlines who took up arms against our nation, and they attacked the Constitution. And and had their asses handed to them. Dear Sadie, well, this is the past we can't forget. Aside from bird shit on some monument, being white is fraught with privilege. I hope your eyes are never blinded to this truth. I hope your heart is put to its fullest use, and that you grow up to love others as one would love one's only brother. Dear Sadie, there's just two kinds of people in this world, little girl. Yes, and both of them are in you. The two are right there inside you. And you become which of the two you choose to be you. And this is just part of what I'd hoped I'd have the chance to try to teach you. That and how to sharpen up a word, sing a ringing Dylan verse, read some Mary Oliver, play an E chord on guitar. I'd hoped to try, but I'm afraid we're gonna miss that ride. Dear Sadie, well, I know now you'll never know me, but when you grow up, ask your daddy. You can ask him what I stood for, and let him tell you what I stood for. Dear Sadie,
Wow.
thank you. Well, we had sound check an hour and a half ago. You figured I had a guitar that would have been in tune by the time they came around. I know every player who was listening to that was sympathizing with me. It's always fun when you're playing and you know you got a string that's out of tune. You're trying to play around the string. So I came back from Nicaragua. I came back here in 2006. I moved back here. And this was right before you had the whole crash that took place. But Florida, in 2007, we were already feeling it. And we had a governor here who was a pretty smart guy, actually. And Florida, so we don't have an income tax state down here. We don't have an income tax. We don't really grow anything anymore. We don't manufacture anything. Our whole existence down here is dependent on people in the north coming down here and spending their money on vacation. And what happened in 2007, late 2007, when things started tightening up, people quit coming. And so Jeb Bush decided what we needed to get people coming back. We had a state song here that was called The Old Folks at Home, which was like a bad marketing idea for the most aged state in the country. And Jeb decided we needed a new state song, so he got $9,999 budgeted through the Florida legislature to pay for the winner of this song contest for the new state song. And I entered the new state the contest for this, and I lost. Thank y'all so much for inviting me. Thank you, Rod. In the middle of the winter, when you need a vacation, come where the sun and the sand is waiting. Right down here at the bottom of our nation, I'm talking about Florida. Well, yeah, now come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, there's 1,000 new residents coming down every day. They're all moving in and buying up the place. They're filling in the swamps to make some more space. And man, we're starting to need it. We got snake farms and alligator wrestlers, more state executions than anywhere but Texas. Shuffleboard and wet t-shirt contestants. Man, you gotta see it to believe it. And come on down to the Sunshine State. We'll bring you money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, we're number one in lightning strikes, snake bites, alligator and shark attacks. Got 1 million illegal aliens to sack our trash, clean toilets, wash dishes, and cut the grass. I'm telling you, it's heaven. We feature one golf course for every man, woman, and child. We cut down the trees and you can see for miles. Don't it seem like a place you could kick back a while? Well, dude, it don't get no better. So come on down to the Sunshine State. We'll bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. We got these federally subsidized sugar plantations that are bigger and richer than European nations. They own our politicians and hire all the Haitians. It's what you call a sweet deal. Well, everybody said it was some kind of joke when we said it ain't over till your brother counts the votes. And 10 years later, we elected Rick Scott. It's what you call a state steal. And come on down to the Sunshine State and bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, our school system rates higher than Mississippi and Louisiana. And though we ain't up there with Arkansas and Alabama, 10% of our children wind up in the slammer. And that's gotta count for something. You see, we ain't got no state income tax, 'cause we just stick it to all you Yankee tourists to make up for that. A service-based economy, that's what keeps us fat. That and a lot of fried mullet. Come on down to the Sunshine State. We'll bring you money, check out the place. Well, chances are, well, you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Come on down to the Sunshine State. We'll bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody, everybody, everybody else does.
Yeah. Woo. Thank you, Grant Peeples. All right. That was a great song, and all of your songs are. And I urge everybody to check out Grant's website. And if that last song whet your appetite, and you really can't wait to get down to Florida, you may want to head down there this coming Friday, March 8th, where Grant's going to be appearing as part of the Will McLean Music Festival in Brooksville, Florida. That should be a lot of fun. It is a great state, even regardless of everything else. What a tragedy. Anyway, I'm glad we have people like Grant to sing those kinds of songs. And I'm glad we have folks like you watching and enjoying the Greenwich Village Folk Festival each month. Don't forget, we're here on the first Sunday of the month. And if you missed any of our previous shows, you can visit our YouTube page where you'll find them all available for you. And I was reminded that we mentioned there's a tip jar. You can see it in your chat feature and also at our webpage, GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org. And I know some people sometimes don't like to give money over the internet. Well, you can always mail us a check. You can make it out to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Mail it to Greenwich Village Folk Festival at Post Office Box 234 in Jeffersonville, New York. And the zip code is 127 48. Again, you can find all this information at our webpage, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. Well, our next guest is a journalist turned songwriter, and many of our viewers and listeners might know her from her work with the alt folk band Illy Amy. And as a solo artist, Heather has been recognized as a Falcon Ridge Folk Festival Most Wanted Artist, a National Women's Music Fest Emerging Artist, No Depression First Grass finalist, a Top 4 Telluride Troubadour. She's also the 2019 Grand Prize winner of the prestigious Bernard Ebb Songwriting Award, and she's been a Lilith Fair Search finalist and Illy Amy the Band. Well, they've been repeat Best Contemporary Folk Group Duo in the Washington Area Music Awards, the Whammies, among many other honors. And you are about to hear, she delivers these powerful and emotional songs with a voice that is equally powerful and compelling. And we're so happy that she could make her Greenwich Village Folk Festival debut with us tonight. So please welcome Heather Aubrey Lloyd.
Awesome. Hey there, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I drove back over the Bay Bridge today in a fury to make sure that I could be back for this, because it's a heck of a lineup, isn't it? So, it's Women's History Month. I'm going to start off with a song about the first of us, based on a poem to tie the room together, as it were. A poem that I read in high school, where Eve just gives God a raft of stuff on her way out of the garden, but one thing before I go. And that's the first part of the poem. And in the second poem, she says something that's stuck with me ever since, which is that she made men like gods. She gave them their godhood, but all they remember about her is her shame. And so this song is called Even Now. God, please make me a stone. I don't want to feel anything anymore. Oh, my soft heart never came to any good, and I can't find a blue-eyed boy to love me like he should. Is my heart keeping you awake? You prefer my lips a damn and not a garden gate. Could be years before the flood, and we'll just ask all the disasters not to come with us. Like that's enough. Boy, please leave me alone. You will never know what I know, what I've done. Centuries, my legacy, how they curse my name. I made you like God, but all you remember is my shame. Is my heart keeping you awake? You prefer my lips a damn and not a garden gate. Could be years before the flood, and we'll just ask all the disasters not to come with us. Drove you from the goddess. That's how a woman made you great. What would you be if not for me? The very woman that you hate. And I have borne my punishment, and I have earned a better fate, and I will face my God again. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. We're gonna do a little toony tune, but nothing crazy. I've been reading the comments. So, many years ago, I was inspired by a picture I saw on Facebook. You can only write songs about your failed relationships for so long. And the picture I saw on Facebook was of a spray-painted wall in the city of Aleppo. And in the comments section, they were explaining what the translation was. And it translated to the girl who shared the siege with me, I love you. And further in the comments section, they were debating whether it was girl or the use of something in the feminine, that it could be to the city who shared the siege with me, I love you. And I was equally moved by that. And so I'm happy to report that I followed up on this after I wrote it. And the couple who were there, the couple responsible for that, made it. And this is a song about when we drop bombs on people who are just trying to find love and raise families and have a dream. City's coming down around us now. I found the shell of that bakery. Used to love the pastry as a child, but now everything is empty. All these beloved places are now so sharp. Every turn is jagged as a war. When it started, we did not believe. Now we have forgotten life before. And she sheltered here as I, nervous glances turned to trust in time. Though we would have never been so bold, between the bombs she slipped her hand in mine. If we are to die here, what could be the harm? Huddled crying in a stranger's arms. If they care nothing for the dead, but care we for the shame? I couldn't even hear her name. Is it closer, or is it far? I used to count the spaces in the thunderstorm, the 9 gates of the ancient citadel. But now we find there's nowhere left to run. The ash, it looks like snow on her hair, the final snow that I may ever see. I didn't travel far and make my name, never found a calling or a family. If we are to die here, what could be the harm? Huddled crying in a stranger's arms. If they care nothing for the dead, but can we fall ashamed? Couldn't even hear her name. To the girl who shared the siege with me, I love you. Lovely as the land where I was born. I wonder if we will see the morning. Is it closer now, or is it far? Is it closer now, or is it far? Thank you. I'm not gonna happy it up by the end of the set. I'm just not in that mood tonight. Sorry. You should have gone to a different folk show. I do occasionally write happy songs. This one is sort of a middle thing. I gotta do a little tune, but it's a nice short song, so we'll tell you about it, and we'll meet at the perfect tuning and the perfect timing. So in pandemic, this is welcome to my world. This was me during pandemic. I spent a lot of time live streaming on my own and with the band. Still do. We still do on Wednesdays. We do different members of the band almost every time. And I really, really, really wanted to write a song when pandemic started, but I was, just choked up by it all. And I was inspired by the wildest inspiration. A lot of songwriters are here. I think will find this pretty interesting. I was inspired by a festival FAQ question. Remember when you thought you might still go to festivals that summer because you didn't know? You had no comparison. So I was reading festival FAQ, and it was things like, can I bring my awesome dog? Where can I park my bike? Can you bring glass bottles? Things like that. And then hiding to absolutely emotionally destroy me was the very otherwise innocent question, are you lost or did you lose someone? And I thought to myself, yeah. And so I wrote myself a lullaby. And that was the first song I wrote during lockdown. Not long from now, 4 years ago. And it's called Are You Lost? Make it perfect because I care. I decided not to set up 2 guitars today, but that's all right. I'm still going to be pretty quick. There you are. So imagine yourself as a little kid going through the woods and your older self comes back to help you. This is my Back to the Future folk song.
We'll get out of this, my child, you'll see. I've done my share of wandering. Are you out here in the woods all alone? Are you lost or did you lose someone? And I know it's been far too long, and daylight is a fairy tale, a nursery song. The hours slipped away, then the months. Halfway there, now you're back at one. Oh, little one, been this way before. So many roads, no one can be sure. But I found the way, I made it through to pass it down to you, and you will too. And all the while you're lost, sure as you are seeking, you are being sought. I know it's hard to know you lie awake, but it's okay, you get to be afraid. Hey, be this way again. So many roads, no knowing where they end, but we'll find the way, we will make it through to pass it down to you, and you will too, and you will too.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. There's great talent yet to come, so stick around.
Oh, thank you, Heather. Heather, Aubrey, Lloyd. What a wonderful set of songs. I'm so glad you could be with us making your debut. And by the way, those folks who are anywhere near Annapolis, you may want to check out this Thursday night at the Dark Horse. Heather will be there with her band, Illy Amy, and that's quite an experience. I hope you check it out. Check out her website too. You find out all about her other appearances, both solo and with Illy Amy, and some great music there as well. Well, still to come tonight, Professor Louie, Kate Taylor, Peter Calo, and Carolann Solebello, and our next performers, who I'm very excited to have on our show, on our festival tonight. One of my favorite albums of last year was released by these next folks. The album is called Be Brave, and it's a product of the duo Miles and Mafale. Catherine Miles and Jay Mafale are husband and wife storytellers who share a love of music as well as a theatrical background. And many of us were first introduced to them when they were part of the trio The Ya-Ya's with pianist Paul Silverman. And more recently, they've been performing with Carolann Solebello, who we'll be seeing later tonight, and also Karen Oliver. They're part of the group No Fuss and Feathers. Miles and Mafale have won acclaim on the stages of listening rooms and festivals nationwide. They've been recognized as most wanted emerging artists at the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival, 3-time Kerrville New Folk finalist, South Florida Folk Festival Vic Heyman Award finalist, honorable mentions in the Mid-Atlantic and Braver Angels Song Contest, and they performed at official showcases at Swerfa, Surfa, Nerfa, and Farm. And that impressive list is the folk music community's version of the EGOT. And it wouldn't surprise me if television, Broadway, and the movies beckon to this very talented duo in the future. They are also making their Greenwich Village Folk Festival debut tonight, so please give a warm welcome to Miles and Mafale.
Hey, Ron. Thank you so much for that that kind introduction. And also, Heather, that was a beautiful set we just listened to. So kudos to you. Heather actually makes a cameo appearance in a video that we're going to be releasing. She mentioned, but I'll mention again, March is Women's History Month, and we'll be releasing the video for this song that we're about to play on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. The idea of this song started, I handwrite songs. I don't type on a computer, I handwrite, and I keep a whole slew of journals for many years. And I wrote a note in a journal. We were touring through the Midwest years ago, and wrote a note in a journal because I saw a little girl standing in a field as we drove by on the highway, and I wrote, "Little girl standing in a field." And in looking at that note and thinking about it, we just thought about how this country is so diverse. It's vast in terms of its geography and its the different cultural aspects of the different parts of this country. So everybody's experience is flavored by those regional differences. But for all the differences women's experiences are across this country, they're probably also profoundly the same. What kind of name is that for a girl? March. Would she choose it for herself? Is it a blessing or a burden that she carries through this world? March. It's a fitting description how she gets through her day. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. March. In a field in Ohio, a little girl stands and she sways, and that's March. With turbines and the pipeline and the crosses by the side of the highway. It's everything she knows, while the barns, they're falling down slow. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. She is a plain Jane with a name tag in a shopping mall. She's just a painted pony with a pinch or a whistle, no name at all. In the land of sticks and stones, the land of broken homes, the land of endless greed, the land of make-believe. In reality TV, March. She closes her eyes, thinks back to when she was young. March. Feels the sting of the needle, hears the buzzing of the gun. She always took the blame, carried her weight of shame. She almost quit the game. March. She opens up her eyes, she's ready to begin. She wrote it on her skin. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving, Gotta keep moving. Oh, 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 yeah, March.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Thanks, everyone.
So if you want to,
Oh yeah, if you did like, if the listeners out there liked the song, not if you don't like the song, but if you did like that song, we're gonna release a new video for that on March 8th. So if you're watching this on Facebook, then make sure that you're please liking us on Facebook, Jay Mafale, Catherine Miles. If you're on Instagram, please do the same thing. Please follow us there, and we'll be releasing them there. Thanks.
you can find that from our website, which is milesandmafale, MAFALE.com. So the I think you'd have to had your head in the sand if you didn't, if you haven't heard news about the crazy rise in book bans. I mean, to levels never seen before. I mean, there's always been book bans. It's not like that's a brand new thing, and there's been book bans in this country always. But what is happening in the last several years is beyond. And I was raised by a woman who was an English, of the generation of, she was an English teacher who then retired when she had kids. And so books were always, they, read to since I was a child, and then they were my refuge. As a teenager, who felt like an outsider a lot of the time, they were where I went. And no book was off limits. My mom took it as an opportunity. Took any book that I wanted to read was okay, as long as it was okay that we would discuss them sometimes, if it was something that she felt that she wanted to kind of talk to me about. So I find it, I said this the other day, and I'll say it again. It is ridiculous and terrifying how somebody feels like a book ban is a thing that they should do and have a right to do and can do. Because the thing is, people's experiences are what they are. What somebody's experience is, where they are in life, stories that they tell, ideas that they share, and that's what a book is. It's ideas written down and emotions written down. You can ban a book, but you can't ban the idea or the experience. Those happen whether you like it or not. So why not take it as an opportunity to discuss, rather than thinking that you can change something by just making it disappear in terms of writing. Anyway, that's my little rant. Safe and warm in your arms, sitting in the big chair by the fire. I would get to choose each night, a glass of milk, glowing light. Remember to be brave when facing monsters. One more page, I would beg. Not tonight, now it's time for bed. Night by night, year by year, stories took us far from here. Remember to be brave when facing monsters. Sometimes gruff, sometimes squeaky, sometimes whispering or chirping like a bird. Every single word you read to me with love. Fires burn in our town, shiny boots, men I'd never seen. No one saw me hide just one, the book you read when mine were done. Remember to be brave. Empty shelves in our home,
I had never seen you sit so still. You took it gently from my hands. You set it down, I did not understand. You said, all that they have burned is paper. Sometimes gruff, sometimes squeaky, sometimes whispering or chirping like a bird. Every single word you read to me with love. Wisps of gray, trembling hands, I help you to your chair beside the fire. Failing eyes still fill with light, it will be my voice tonight. Remember to be brave when facing monsters. Sometimes gruff, sometimes squeaky, sometimes whispering or chirping like a bird. Every single word, every single word I'll read to you with love, with love, with love.
Woo. Beautiful.
So the house we're sitting in is actually the house my grandparents lived in. It's right next door to the house that I grew up in. A bunch of years back, Jay and I, a handful of years back, Jay and I moved here, and it was an experience, kind of fixing these places up. A little cathartic, a little learning experience. A lot of sweat, a lot of splinters. But whether it's life follows art or art follows life, I don't know. We started writing this song. The ideas of this song started long before we even thought of moving here. But there's no doubt that being in this place and experiencing everything that we have here affected this song. I think the place that you grow up and those formative experiences when you're a child and a teenager, they stick with you. They kind of make a structure that you live inside of, whether you realize it or not, like an invisible structure that you live inside of. And you don't even always realize that it affects all your responses and all of the way you react and the way you interact with other people in the world at large and how you interpret things. And it's maybe one of the hardest things to step outside of that and look at it and say, hey, is that in my best interest to live inside that space? Maybe yes, maybe no, but maybe worth thinking about. It's not about a house, but it's called This House. There's a hole in the wall right behind the dresser. There's a hole in the wall beneath the kitchen sink. There are holes in the walls of every single room inside this house. I scream and I shout every time that I am angry. I cry and I wail every time that I get hurt. I steam and I vent all of my frustrations into every single hole inside this house. This is the house that I was born in, the house where I was raised, the house I live my life in, every single hour of every day. All the times I was told I was useless and ungrateful, all the pain and the sadness turned to anger and self-doubt, a foundation built to last beneath my sturdy prison. Though I struggled, I just could not let me out. But the rooms in this house, well, they started getting smaller. The walls bulged and swelled, there was no room left to breathe. I pulled all the shades so I wouldn't scare the neighbors. Would I die before I found the strength to leave? This is the house that I was born in, the house where I was raised, the house I live my life in, every single hour of every day. There's a house you can find all across this country, a house you can find from sea to shining sea, in every shape and every size, from mansions to apartments. You'll find lost but hopeful children just like me. No one else could save me, I had to decide. I broke the windows and the doors and pushed those shards aside. No one else could save me, I had to make the choice. I chose to let the light in, I chose to let the light out. I chose to raise my voice, raise my voice. This is the house that I was born in, the house where I was raised, the house I live my life in. Every single hour, every single hour, every single hour of every day. Ooh, every day.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Miles and Mafale, thank you so much. Catherine Miles and Jay Mafale. I love that song. And folks out there, you can find a copy of that on their latest album, Be Brave. And by the way, if you're in Maryland, Darlington, Maryland, this coming Saturday, they'll be performing at the Deer Creek Coffee House. And check out their website, milesandmafale.com, to find out about other upcoming gigs and to get that album and hopefully some new music very soon too. I look forward to that video. Well, you're listening and watching the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, our March 2024 edition. You know, this is also streamed on folkmusicnotebook.com, which is a 24/7 internet radio channel I operate. And I was just taking a glance at how many listeners we have in. And there are folks right now listening to us and watching this, I guess, in Spain, in Brazil, Germany, all across the US and Canada. And don't forget, you can watch this video on the archives. Go to youtube.com and look for the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and you'll find copies of all of these wonderful shows. So if you missed any of it tonight, you can catch up and you won't miss a single note. Well, I've had the honor of being able to call our next performer a friend for a couple of decades now. I first met her when she was building her career as a solo artist, and she was also working with other emerging artists in our community. She was the owner and operator of Elizabeth Records, and she encouraged so many wonderful artists. You probably know her as one of the founding members of the trio Red Molly. She's also a member, as I mentioned earlier, of No Fuss and Feathers. You might not know that she was also the host of an open mic for several seasons at the Christopher Street Coffee House in the Village, and a regular at the Jack Hardy Songwriters Exchange. She's won numerous awards for her songwriting and has recorded 5 albums to date, and I'm happy to report she's working on her 6th. We are so happy and so grateful that she's back with us tonight. Please welcome Carolann Solebello.
Oh, Ron, it's so nice to hear that. Thank you. And it's true. We've known each other for probably more than 20 years now. That's kind of crazy.
I
right?
know. We were young kids at the time, and now
Yeah.
we're still young kids.
We haven't aged a day,
That's right.
despite the fact that you're a granddad and I have a kid who's now an adult. It is,
Oh.
we haven't aged at all.
Yeah, other than that, it's the same thing.
The same. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, and thank you to Rod and to Ray also for inviting me back to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. It's wonderful to be here, and wonderful to be here in the company of such wonderful friends. I know most of the people performing tonight, and especially those last folks. You know, they're my buddies, and it's a joy and an honor to be in their company. It was also great fun. Spending the earlier part of the evening watching you all on my television in the living room. So I've only just come into this room, into my home studio to play for you all. So bravo to everyone who's already performed. Yes, I'm working on another record. I plan to put it out sometime at the end of 2020. That's how it goes, you see. It started around then, and 2020 is not quite over for me yet, I suppose, so I'm just extended the year. And so tonight I'll be playing you a few songs that are under consideration for that album, because as you know, or you might not know, you don't just... the songs that have to be chosen, the songs have to make the cut. Sometimes I'll throw 20 or 30 songs at the wall or at a producer before I decide what's what. So this is one of them. It's been sitting in the closet for quite some time, but it is one of the rare happy songs that I've ever written. So before we get dark, let's get a little happy. I hear the bells in the morning from the top of the church downtown. High in the tower, they sing on the hour. My heart is glad at the sound of the ringing. Bells are ringing, ringing in harmony, ringing in harmony, ringing. I play a box of mahogany tied up with 6 bits of twine. Duty is calling, but I am still falling in love with the way they combine when they're ringing. Strings are ringing, ringing in harmony, ringing in harmony. Bring me salvation. I hear your keys in the evening jingle outside of our door. Daylight is fading, but I am here waiting for you, my love, evermore. We are ringing, hearts are ringing, ringing in harmony, ringing in harmony.
Yeah.
Very much. See how long I can make it ring. You hear it, you hear it, you hear it. So I said I'm going to put out the album at the end of 2020. I will. If 2020 ever ends, in my heart. I didn't write a lot of songs that year. I know a lot of my friends were able to be creatively productive during the time when we had to stay home all the time. I, on the other hand, was not for whatever reason. But I did I did manage to write a few songs. Some of them were just exceedingly silly. But this one was the only one that I think I'll keep from that year because weirdly it still speaks to me. It was written in the spring, late spring of 2020, after a few months of madness. It's called A Prayer for the Living. It's for all of us. Because we are the survivors, aren't we?
In the morning, heavy shadows fill the space between the curtains and the wall. Through the window I left open, I can smell the rain that's just about to fall. There's a stillness all around, like nothing I have ever felt before. Such a stillness with no sound hovers in the air and shakes my core. So I tremble in the dim light and I listen to you breathe until I rise. I move slowly, not to wake you, but the bed creaks and you open up your eyes. There's a sadness hiding there, one I've seen a time or two before. Such a sadness we both share, heavy as the bolt upon the door. As it was in the beginning, we are now as we were then. Long as there's a planet spinning, we will pass this way. Again, again, again. Amen. In the evening, we hold hands and watch the news until we feel we're gonna drown. Through the window, barely open, comes a siren from the street 5 stories down. There's a silence when it goes, heavier than what was there before. Such a silence no one knows, till we don't want to hear it anymore. As it was in the beginning, we are now as we were then. Long as there's a planet spinning, we will pass this way.
Amen.
Thank you. I did that because I can. I have the spinny
Cute
chair.
spinning.
Oh my! I better not do that more than once. That might not bode well for the last song. Thank you again for having me here. This is always a wonderful space to occupy, and certainly the commute is fantastic. So thank you for that. I don't know if you've noticed. But things are a little crazy right now. I'm keep looking at the wrong camera. It's over here. Things are a little crazy right now in terms of like, they're just crazy in general. I mean, and they have been for quite some time. But it always amazes me what people believe, what people will choose to believe. We are a people that enjoys sensational things, aren't we, though? And whenever I get down about the latest conspiracy theory or the latest crazy cockamamie thing that's going on, I think about, well, this is not new. This is not new. These things have been happening for quite some time over the years. I mean, we as humans seem to really enjoy a good conspiracy theory, and we as Americans particularly do. Particularly. I mean, I had a wealth of historical conspiracy theories to choose from, but I took things from my childhood to make up this little ditty. Let's see. It was written to a prompt. If only I could remember what the prompt was. I don't remember. But anyway, this one's called Secret Messages. And I will close my set with this. Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, everybody. I can't wait to see everybody else this evening. It's been a wonderful evening so far. Delighted to be part of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Oh, and thanks to Greg and John for helping me get the sound right. Because this was the problem. She put the record on the player and she put the needle down. Put her finger on the vinyl and she spun it back around. She said, listen for a minute and you'll see just what I mean. I was only 7, she was 14. She said, you gotta play it backwards and then you can hear. He said, turn me on, dead man, it's perfectly clear. She seemed so very certain, I just nodded my head. She said, that's all the proof I needed, Paul is dead. Who's Paul? I didn't know. But she was so much older, so I figured it was so. But who's Paul? I didn't care. I could not hear the secret message, but I trusted it was there. She pointed to the label on a bottle of shampoo. She said, these people worship Satan, I am certain that they do. See the face of the devil on the logo, clear as day. Then she took my soap and toothpaste and she threw them both away. Whose face I didn't see, but she was so much wiser, so I told her I agree. But whose face I didn't know. I could not see the secret message, but I trusted it was so. Secret messages I never understood. Secret messages people up to no good. She clicked the link on the message board and read the latest post. It looked like gibberish to me, but she was totally engrossed. She said, don't you understand? It's in code and it's from Q. Someone is stealing the election, so we gotta have a coup. Who's Q? She didn't know. But I am older now, and so I faced her toe to toe. Who's Q? She didn't care. I could not see the secret message, cause there was no message there. Secret messages I never understood. Secret messages people up to no good. Secret messages behind the black and white. People keeping secrets if you gotta keep it secret, then it maybe isn't right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Carolann Solebello. What a great song. And listen, you folks at home, I don't know if you realize it, but if you take every third word of that song and put them together, you get a secret message that you would not believe. I'm not going to spill the beans here. You have to go back and listen to it again. But anyway, seriously, Carolann Solebello, check out her website. She's got some great gigs coming up, including next Tuesday, March the 12th. She'll be in Washington, D.C. with Bev Grant of the D.C. Labor Chorus. They're putting together a multimedia show to honor women in labor history. It's called We Were There. So check out Carolann's website for more information. And check out the Greenwich Village Folk Festival website too. You can find out how you can donate to help keep this going. You'll see information in the chat feature on both YouTube and Facebook. And also you can make your donation right on the webpage at greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. Well, we are pleased to have our next guest return to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival tonight. He's performed and recorded with a diverse roster of artists throughout his career, from Queen Latifah to Leonard Bernstein, from Willie Nelson to the Crash Test Dummies. And he's also produced many recordings, including Carly Simon's release, Never Been Gone. And he's featured in the documentary, All You Need Is Kloss. And he was the guitarist for Showtime's Ray Donovan and for Tony and Grammy Award-winning original Broadway and film production of Hairspray. And we are real excited to have him back. Here he is, Peter Calo.
Hi, everybody. So nice to be here. So nice to hear everybody play and sing. Funny enough, oddly enough, this song was inspired sitting on the promenade in Brooklyn, facing Lower Manhattan, and somehow this song came out called Wired to the Moon. I hate the cracks in the pavement. I play a game of avoidance. Count my steps to the corner of the street. 2, 3, 4. And if by chance I might lose my way, it's amazing how a stranger can point out the way. Little things they might say to you might help you by, might see you through. I couldn't see it for myself, I couldn't make out the way. So I try to tell the difference between night and day. The connection is lost, it has disappeared, and has led me to imagine my worst fears. Dreams I have entered, dreams I have escaped. I can't seem to remember, I can't keep them straight. And everyone is talking, and at the same time it's got me spinning in circles. And my mind, oh, can't you see? Something's pulling at me. I'm just a victim of the crowded street, wired to the moon, wired to the moon, wired to the moon. The avenue is a place to meet, a chance to sit. You can be so discreet, but there's no way you can compete with what you can't see on that city street. 'Cause there's no one knows what you're thinking, and those you never find blinking. People keep coming as people keep moving. It's hard to imagine just what they're all doing. And everyone is talking, and at the same time it's got me spinning in circles in my mind. Oh, can't you see? Something's pulling at me. I'm just a victim of the crowded street, wired to the moon, wired to the moon, wired to the moon. Oh, can't seem to remember, I can't keep them straight. And everyone is talking, and at the same time it's got me spinning in circles in my mind. Oh, can't you see something's pulling at me? I'm just a victim of the crowded street. Wired to the moon. Oh, can't you see something's pulling at me? I'm just a victim of the crowded street. Wired to the moon. Wired to the moon. Wired to the moon. Wired to the moon, wired to the moon, wired to the moon. Wired to the moon, wired to the moon, wired to the moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Woo!
I had to write a pub drinking song with this next one, but it came out basically a lovesick ballad. This is called Sail Away. Throw down the key, it's me at the door. I know it's late, and we've been here before. Please don't be mad, I just need to talk. I got nothing to say, but nowhere to walk. But I've been thinking about you and me. We could wake up in heaven if you dream with me. Sail away on the blue sea. Sail away, just you and me. Sail away, just close your eyes and sail away, just you and I. I'm feeling cold and I'm all alone out on the street with nowhere to go. Won't you come down and open the door? Please let me in, 'cause you keep me warm. And I've been thinking about you and me. We could wake up in heaven if you'll dream with me and sail away, sail away, just you and me. Sail away, just close your eyes. Sail away, just you and I. Whoa, sail away, just close your eyes. Sail away, just you and I. Too kind. Thank you very much. Too kind. Thank you, Greenwich Folk Festival, for having me tonight. Thank you, Rod, for calling me up, and I hope to see you down in Florida when I'm down there next week. This is a song that, well, there are some who live in a dream world. There are those who face reality, and then there are those who can't tell the difference. And I don't know where that quote's from, but it kind of inspired this song. This is called I Can Dream. I can dream. Oh yeah, yeah. Button up that overcoat. Get ready for the overload. The very life that you live is waiting to unfold. You can fake many things, but you can't fake your life. Really, all my memory left me floating the innocence. I can remember, though I choose to forget. Sometimes the silence hurts so much, but I turn it up nonetheless. So I can dream, oh yeah, yeah. I need to dream, oh yeah. I know I'll never be the same. My life has changed. Between the good and the bad, there's some useful time. But tell me, which is which? Sometimes you tell jokes, sometimes you populate. Someone will preach you a say. Some people don't know what you're trying to be. Some say that it's sealed in your fate. I can remember, though I choose to forget. Sometimes the silence hurts so much, I turn it up nonetheless. So I can dream, oh yeah, yeah. Well, I need to dream, oh yeah. Oh, dream, let me in, let this journey begin, and I'll put all I know on the line. Not a moment to lose for whatever I choose. My dreams are real, every thought that I feel is sublime. my spirit is crying, I feel my soul dying. I'm lost in confusion and clouded with doubt. I can dream, oh yeah, I can dream. Well, I need a dream, oh yeah. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream.
Okay, love it.
Wow.
Blistering. Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Peter Calo, thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
Check out Peter's website, petercalo.com, and find out about his latest recording, Time Machine. And he also has some gigs coming up, as he mentioned, in Florida over the next week. So if you're in Florida, seems like that's where everything's happening this next couple of weeks. So many people are there. Well, I hope you're all enjoying the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. As you probably know, this is a gift to the community. The Greenwich Village Folk Festival is a 501c3 organization. It was founded back in 1987, and the intent was to honor the music and legacy of the village music scene. The founding producers were Rod McDonald and Ray Mysick, who are continuing to this day. Also Jay Rosen and Jerry Hinson. And the Greenwich Village Folk Festival held annual concerts in person between 1987 and 1994. Took a little hiatus, but it came back in 2020, and we've been doing these monthly online concerts on the first Sunday of each month. And by my count, tonight is number 43. I'll have to double check my math. I've never been good at that, but it's been an astounding collection of artists from the folk and acoustic world, and they're all preserved. It's on our YouTube page, and you can go to there and catch up on any shows you missed. And this is all possible, even though this is a free gift to the community, but it's made possible through the generous contributions from folks just like you. And we want to thank everybody who has given tonight. And if you haven't, you can still do so. Even if you're watching in the archives, go to our webpage, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org, and you'll see how you can donate. You can mail us a check or donate via PayPal. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, there should be links direct in our chat feature. So please check it out and help support this festival so that we can continue bringing you the finest, because there's so many outstanding artists out there who have yet to play, and will be here hopefully in future months. Well, our next guest has been one of the most requested performers on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival since we returned as a virtual event back in 2020. Now, she's a member of the illustrious Taylor family, and Kate released her first album back in 1971. And after releasing several critically acclaimed albums, she took a break from performing to raise a family. But since she's returned, she has shown that her songwriting and exuberance as a performer has not skipped a beat. Her most recent album, which reunited her with producer Peter Asher, has been critically acclaimed and offers a great mix of original songs and joyous cover songs that she makes her own. We are once again honored that she could be with us. Please give a warm welcome to Kate Taylor.
Hello. Hi there, everybody. Oh my God, I've been having such a good time tonight. Wow. There's some amazing songwriters and singers in this bunch and guitar players. So I'm delighted to be here. And this first song, my friend Nick and our friend John, but they were fixing my brakes, and they had to take the pieces apart, and they gave me this round disc thing. And Nick took my picture and he said, that would make a good album cover. And I said, well, if we have an album cover with me participating in some small way in a brake job, we better have a song. And so this is what came up in it. It really isn't too much about a brake job, but here it is. doesn't get you there yet. School and metal, but I'm in control. Steaming to whatever's down the road. Say, debt, mortgage, interest rates, overdraft, expiration, past the due date. Hanging on, but that's no tail. Keeping my behind out of jail. Oh, break job. Rebate, refund, holiday on tax. Will it make a difference? Get my card off the max. Motel, boogie, no way to live. Get me a break job before they give. I said a lesson in line. You're true and pale, you got to deal with it. Squeaky wheel. Oh, break job. Well, break job. Busy circles and drinks and ice. Fast cars and rolling dice. I am email, AI and iPhone, text at the wheel. Where did we go wrong? What went wrong? Woo! I'll find a patch of sunlight where I can slow the pace and get the rotors and the pads replaced. I'm gonna take a deep breath, gonna warm my bones to get me a brake job and bring it home. Oh, brake job. Well, brake job. Brake job. Where did we go? What went wrong? What went wrong? What went wrong? Brake job.
Ah,
Oh, that's so good. Thank you. Back in the 90s, I had raised my family, and the kids were big, and the recording gear got smaller, and we knew we could roll some stuff into the house and start recording a new record. So we did just that. And in the process of making this record, I heard some wonderful songwriters, and my late husband Charlie, he was writing some beautiful songs which we got to record. And during the process of making the record, our dear friend Arlen Roth, who was he's the wonderful guitar player, and he was had been working with us for a while, and he was recording this record with us. And we got the terrifying and terrible tragic telephone call that his wife and eldest daughter had been killed in a car crash. And my husband Charlie started to write this song, and as we got closer to the recording of it, Charlie started to realize just that he himself was very ill, and so the song took on some extra meaning for him. I mean, if it could possibly have any more meaning for us, but as he was facing his own mortality. I was waiting in the darkness for the telephone to ring, and I was waiting for the headlights and the comfort they would bring. A policeman came a-knocking, he came a-knocking at my front door. He said, I'm sorry to have to tell you, things won't be the same anymore. I will fly on wings of green to that place beneath the clouds, and there I'll cry and call out to you and call your name and cry out loud. It felt like God had whispered something into my ear I could not bear, and though I called out in shock and sadness, I could not cry enough tears. The salty gale destroyed the flowers, the hummingbird had naught to eat. I lost the path whereon I traveled from heart to soul on crippled feet. I will find on wings of grief to that place beneath the clouds, and there I'll cry and call out to you and call your name and cry out loud. Mama, mama, can you hear me crying? My sweet sister, where did you go? Though we're still riding on this dark highway, I'll keep on trying. I miss you so, and my heart began a stirring, although I'm sure I know not why, and my soul began to answer and to speak its own reply. I will fly on wings of peace to that place above the clouds. There we'll embrace and be together and lay our heavy burden down. I will fly on wings of peace to that place above the clouds, the bluest sky, golden sunlight, the truest love, the sweetest sound. Now, I usually have an accompanist who plays this next song with me, but because I'm here and my accompanist is not here, I'm going to do this one a cappella. And it's a song, I've got brothers who write lots of wonderful songs, and I recommend that you go and hear them. If they come to a town near you, they're amazing. And they've written some songs about our time growing up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And so I thought, well, because I have 4 brothers and didn't have any sisters, I thought, well, maybe it's time for the sisters' perspective. So that's what this song is. Let's see. We are the Chapel Hillbillies, a mixture of grays and blues. One was built like a barrel with a face like the sun. Good God, his voice was a glorious one, but his blues were as deep as the sea, you see. He tried to lighten it up, but it wasn't to be. And one is built like a reed that the wind blows through. with a heart like a harp, and he sees deep in you. And with his ears on the music out in the spheres, your soul's in his hands and his vision is clear. Oh, and the sun did shine on Carolina. I knew you there, and there's no place finer. The air is yellow-green when the spring is high. The seventh largest sundial touches the sky in Carolina. One word's like a hummingbird, rings like a bell. He can fly a plane, he can dig a well. And his words like the preacher strike their mark. He'll make you laugh with his mighty spark. The youngest is cool like a shady day. The wind and a hammer and a song he'll play. When he gives you a sight of his light inside, it'll keep you glowing even when he hides it. Oh, when the sun did shine on Carolina, I knew you there, and there's no place finer. Moonlight at night was good for creeping, while everyone else in the town was sleeping in Carolina. Carolina. Now they have a sister, and her name is mine, in the middle of this family from Caroline. And I'll play and I'll sing this song. I want to go back where you come along. Oh, when the sun did shine on Carolina, I knew you there, and there's no place finer. And at Union Grove and by the fire, and around the table a family choir in Carolina, Carolina. We are the Chapel Hillbillies, a mixture of grays and blues, money, honey, gospel country. We've got songs for you.
Oh,
Bravo, bravo.
Kate Taylor. Oh, Kate, we are so lucky to have you with us tonight. Could I impose on you? Would you mind doing an encore? Could we ask for one? Is that possible?
Do I have something ready? Oh my goodness. Well, I'll try. Okay, sure. I'll be happy to try. There's some very worthy singers and songwriters in this bunch who should be doing an encore. Ron also, but I'll try this one. Okay, I'm half prepared for this one. My friend Rebecca Correa and I wrote this one during the pandemic. We were sitting around talking about how wisdom gets passed down from the generations and what we do with it, in our time. And it was during the pandemic that we wrote it, so contagiousness was kind of on our minds. So this is called Love is Contagious. How does it start? Oh yeah. Don't be shy. Yep, that's not how it starts though. Here's how it goes. Don't be shy, be courageous. Your feet on the ground and on the stages. There's no limit to the sky. Here's why. Love is contagious. Mama told me in her final days it all goes by so fast. And if you stand up to injustice, injustice doesn't stand a chance. We took the wisdom from her time and wove it into our own rhyme. Powered by what they begun, the path is lit by the rising sun. Don't be shy, be courageous. Feet on the ground and on the stages. There's no limit to the sky. Here's why. Love is contagious. Some doors are wide open, some doors are still shut. shiny righteous song. They're taking it to the streets. This darkness will be beat. Don't be shy, be courageous. Your feet on the ground and on the stages. There's no limit to the sky. Here's why love is contagious. And when our healing is done and the new world has begun, what do you see? What do you dream for you and for me and for all humanity? Don't be shy, be courageous, feet on the ground and on the stages. There's no limit to the sky. Here's why love is. Don't be shy, be courageous, your feet on the ground and on the stages. There's no limit to the sky. Here's why love is contagious. Ooh, just give it a try. Oh, love is.
Thank you. Kate Taylor, thank you so much. Love is contagious, and so is your music, and so are you. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and for everybody who's enjoying this wonderful Greenwich Village Folk Festival. By the way, check out Kate's website, katetaylor.com. You can find information about her latest album, upcoming appearances. In fact, she's going to be in our neck of the woods here in the New York metropolitan area back in May. She'll be in West Nyack, New York, at the Rockland Center for the Arts. So we look forward to that as well.
Had to change my name. I'm going to be Kate Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll have to move it to the Giant Stadium or something. We'll work on that. Again, we want to thank everybody who's been helping out tonight and donating and keeping this wonderful event going. And we have one more performer, and he is also I don't know if I would call him a regular, but he's been here a few times, and he's one of our favorites. He's been at the forefront of the American roots music scene for the past 5 decades. And in addition to being a seasoned live performer, a prolific recording artist, and a versatile multi-instrumentalist, Professor Louie is an award-winning producer and engineer, including producing the band. In fact, it was Rick Danko who gave him the nickname of Professor Louie. Well, with his band, Professor Louie and the Chromatics, he's released 16 studio CDs, 2 vinyl LPs, 3 DVDs, all on his Woodstock Records label. He's also the host of a radio show called Professor Louie's Woodstock Rockin' Review. And now we're going to be treated to what I thought was a solo performance, but it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Maria's with him too. Right. All right, please welcome Professor Louie and Miss Marie.
Well, thanks so much, Ron, and everybody who's had us come here over and over. And it's been great listening to everybody tonight. I always enjoy that most. And Miss Marie, luckily for me, is joining us in because she writes most of the songs with us. And so here's one called Too Close Chairs. Somehow I just knew it, don't know what drew me there, to peek inside your window, through the hall and past the stairs. Somehow I just knew it, I had lost it all. Could be my worst nightmare, wish I hadn't gone at all. It's my turn to hurt, it's my turn to care. The quiet table, the too close chairs. It's my turn to hurt. See the hand upon your hair. The quiet table, the too close chairs.
I took for granted the love of my life. I just can't run away and say, hey, you were right. I wish you would come back, be like it was before. Somehow I just knew it, nothing's fair in love and war. It's my turn to hurt, it's my turn to care. The quiet table, the two close chairs. It's my turn to hurt, see the hand upon your hair. The quiet table, the two close chairs.
I heard the steamboat whistle, I had to get on board. I never thought I'd make it back, now I'm walking through your door. And it don't feel good when you're busted flat, when your baby's not with you and you don't know where it's at. It's my turn to hurt, it's my turn to care. The quiet table, the two close chairs. It's my turn to hurt, see the hand upon your hair. The quiet table, the two close chairs. It's my turn to hurt, see the hand upon your hair. The quiet table, the two close chairs. Thank you so much. Song, originally the name of our group is Professsor Louie and the Chromatics, and originally it was Levon Helm and the Chromatics. And we wrote that because Levon wanted to play a song with mandolin on our shows. And I'm sorry he's not here to be able to play it because he really did a great job on it. So thank you so much. It's nice to be able to play those. Well, springtime. We got birds starting to show up at the house. And here's some songs that they're singing all the time. So here's one called I Got a Bird. Well, now I got a bird, sings every day, starts at the break of dawn. When she sings, I hear her lonesome song. Now I got a bird, sings every day, knows right from wrong. When she sings, I hear her honest song. Have you heard her song? Have you heard her song? Honestly lonesome song. Well, now I got a bird, sings every day, I hear her on the hill. When she sings, the wind and the willow stand still. I got a bird, sings every day, but I still don't have you. When she sings, it makes me feel so blue. Have you heard her song? Have you heard her song? Honestly lonesome song. Outside the sun is shining. Inside no rose roses bloom. Oh, how my heart is crying, trying to get close to you.
A bird sings every day, but I still don't have you. When she sings, everything turns blue. Have you heard her song? Have you heard her song? Honestly lonesome song. Have you heard her song? Have you heard her song? Honestly lonesome song. Honestly lonesome song. Honestly lonesome song.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm hoping everybody at home there is watching all the performances because they really have been a great show tonight. Mm-hmm. And we're really honored to be part of it and be asked all the time. And I got to always hand it to Rod using the accordion on one of his records, I think on every song. So that was really nice of you to do, Rod. A lot of times I get called to play. Well, you make one song maybe. Well, the rest ends up on the cutting room floor once in a while, you know, with the accordion. But, you know, we've been feeling a lot of good feelings here. And it leads me to play a song that we wrote a while ago. And we all really, you know, need that love. But, you know, it's when you really feel it, it's really nice. And sometimes you need an uncommon love. I'm looking for love. A love that really matters. I need uncommon love to help me find an answer. Crying out loud, we're fools and just beginners. We need uncommon love, no more losers or winners. It all comes back to you. Do what you gotta do. A change is gonna come. Look for uncommon love. We're gonna shine like the sun. Shine with devotion. We need uncommon love and a simple emotion. Now people come alive when true words are spoken. We need uncommon love and no more hearts are broken. It all comes back to you. Do what you gotta do. A change is gonna come. Look for uncommon love. Look for now, yeah. Now people try to find, you know they're always looking for a little happiness sometimes. We need uncommon love, a little peace of mind. It all comes back to you. Do what you gotta do. A change is gonna come. Look for uncommon love. It all comes back to you. Do what you gotta do. A change is gonna come. Look for uncommon love.
Look for it, baby. Look for it now. We all need that love now, yeah. Uncommon love.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. Hoping everybody's having a good time this evening on a Sunday. Although if you're listening in Europe, I think it's maybe getting close to Monday.
And we
I think
do.
so.
We do have some listeners there. Listen, Professor Louie, Miss Marie, it was so great, but we still have some money left on our meter. Could you give us another song?
All right, I think we'd be happy to. Miss Marie had a request. We like having some fun when we're playing. And for those of you who are sitting there watching us, if you have a guitar in your hand, you got to play along. That's important. You got to sing along too. Ron, that includes you, of course. You got to sing along. And we got a nice one in the key of E. Now, I know sometimes things don't sync up, when you're zooming and all that, but sometimes that makes it even more fun if you turn your mic on and it's out of sync. It's pretty cool. But anyway, here's one called Baby Loves to Boogie.
To get you a gig that probably wouldn't make more than $400.
Now, baby loves the boogie, and she loves the boogie all night long. Now, baby loves the boogie, and she loves the boogie all night long. Well, I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on. She says she likes our style, I tell her we've been good. She says she likes my style, I tell her I've been good. Well, I try to be good almost all the time. I say now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. Pretty easy words. I say now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. Well, I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on. Inflation. We ain't got no dough, we got no place to go. We ain't got no dough, we got no place to go. But I love my baby when she starts to boogie down real slow. Now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. Baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. Well, I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on. All right, everybody out there, let's go. Little dancing, buddy. Boogie, baby, baby. hear you out there. There we go. Got the cuts.
Tell them, Louie.
Well, now get those shoes back on your feet. I love you, baby, but there's no time to sleep. You rock my rock, you rock my roll, but if you don't start the boogie, you're gonna put me down the hole all night long. But I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on. And now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. That's right. Hey, now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. I
love my baby.
I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on. One more time, song. I say now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. And now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long.
I love my baby.
Well, I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on. All right, now as loud as possible. I say now baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. She loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. I love my baby when the boogie shoes is on.
Boogie baby. Thank you so much. So much fun.
Yeah.
Right, well, thanks for playing along. The sync worked out great.
Oh, that was wonderful. Professor Louie, Miss Marie, and the Greenwich Village All-Stars tonight, all joining in on that great encore. Oh, wow. What a night this has been. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. This has been just incredible. And let's thank the performers. We started way back at 7 o'clock with Nick Carter, Grant Peeples, Heather, Aubrey, Lloyd, Miles and Mafale, Carolann Solebello, Peter Calo, Kate Taylor, and we just heard Professor Louie and Miss Marie. Let's give a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Also, we have to thank our incredible sound people, John Ziola and Greg Greenway, and yes, and our festival producers, Rod McDonald, Ray Mysick, and also Andrea Klosky. Thank you all for making this happen. And thanks to all of you for watching, for supporting this. Everybody who's made donations tonight, you people are incredible. You keep this going on the first Sunday of every month. And yes, just like James Bond, we will be back on April 7th at 7 p.m. Our lineup will include Deirdre McCullough, Kyle Hancharik, Joe Jenks, Walter Parks, Friction Farm, Jillian Matundan, and Kayla Farnham. That's going to be quite an evening, and we've got more great shows coming up for the rest of the year. So be sure to keep tuned in. First Sunday of the month, we're on Facebook, on YouTube. We're streaming the audio on folkmusicnotebook.com, and we hope to see you all here. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, and remember, wherever you go, make sure you carry a song in your heart. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Ron. Thank you. Thank you.